Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy and welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. We got an unbelievable show lined out. We're going to head down with Craig Cameron, get another great tip from him. Then we're going to go down towards Stanley, Kansas to the Warhorses for Veterans, a great program that you'll want to hear about. Then we're going to head on down to Weatherford, Oklahoma. My good friend Phil Haugen, going to be talking about softness and getting horses really broke. You're going to love it. I'm here having some coffee, having a great time. You go get yourself a cup of coffee and watch some Better Horses TV.
In a natural, free roaming situation, horses graze nearly constantly throughout the day and night. When feeding horses in stables, it's ideal to try to mimic this feeding behavior. Horses in stabled conditions should be fed their hay so they can pick at it continuously between feedings. Visit our website at stanleyforage.com under Nutrition, then Nutritional Resources to help transition your horse from winter to spring in the coming weeks.
Hi, this is Pastor Frank with Open Range Fellowship, and I've been thinking about what God says about doing things for others. You know, do we do it for others within the church or do we do it for others outside the church? Let me tell you, it's not either or, it's both and. And it tells it right here in Galatians chapter 6 verse 10. It says, therefore, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people. I looked up all in the Greek and Hebrew, and it means all people, but especially those who belong to the family of believers. So, like I said, it's not either or, it's both and. So we don't need to get all clubbed up and, okay, I'm just going to hang with people in the church. And we've got to impact our culture by getting out there and do good for those too. And you can start by, get involved. Go to a soup kitchen one time a year. Take your kids and grandkids or do something crazy and see how people are living out there. But for now, let's just pray about it. Lord, help us to do good to all people, like you said, and especially those within the family. And Lord, help us to get stronger in our faith, stronger in our walk, stronger with our joy and peace, all those things, Lord, through Holy Spirit power. In your name we pray. Amen. Well, this week, go try to do something nice for the person at the drive-up window. Give them a gift card, but give it to them for another restaurant. It will freak them out. God bless you guys, and I'll see you next week.
Back in the saddle and out on the trail with Ernie the horse guy, now fun will prevail. We'll meet the best horseman under the sun. Tip our hats to the ladies, keep the good Lord number one. Ride along, sing your song, along with better horses, we're right where we belong. Faith and love from up above, the best of the good life's yet to come.
I've been using the CSI saddle pad for about 4 years now. It is very important in barrel racing for your horse to be comfortable and sound, and the CSI saddle pad does that. My saddle always sits in the correct spot on my horse's withers and down his back and never rolls. I am very comfortable when I ride a CSI saddle pad. I feel balanced and my saddle does not feel like it rolls on any of my horses.
Hello Ernie, Craig Cameron here, coming to you from the Double Horn Ranch and a horsemanship tip for betterhorses.com. All right, you son buck, Ernie Rodino, I got another tag tip, a little more information for you for better horses. And we're going to talk about saddle pads. You know, I think a lot of people underestimate the importance of a really good saddle pad. What is a saddle pad? It pads a horse. Pads him what? Between you and your saddle. you know, those saddles, a lot of times those saddles, you know, I hope you understand the tree can be made of wood or fiberglass or a combination, and it's hard. So, and then on top of that, we got your weight. So we need a good pad. The horse cannot be expected to perform well if he's uncomfortable. And what I seem to see a lot of times is that's where people are cheap out, is on a saddle pad, because, oh, I'm gonna get a cheap pad, but it makes a big difference to your horse. You can't perform. How would you like to perform well when something's getting into your back or it's causing you a little problem or pain? And these horses, they can't really tell you about it. Sometimes you see a horse traveling around with their ears back or their head up or a little cock or ring in their tail. Sometimes I think they're uncomfortable from poor equipment, poor saddle pads. So one thing that's really important to me is an excellent saddle pad. So I'm going to show you a couple of saddle pads that I use. You know, there's all types of good pads, but a good pad is a good pad. I'm willing to spend the money. And the thing is, if you buy a good pad, I guarantee you it's going to last you a long, long time. So let's just start down at the end here. And again, this one is, oh my gosh, it's a Craig Cameron saddle pad. But you know, that's not what makes it good. It's the quality. This is 100% wool felt right here, and it has some thickness to it, guys. Again, I always laugh. People say, oh, but your pad's too thick. Well, you can get them too thick. Usually when I see too thick, it's when they're using 2 or 3 pads. Then you get a poor fit and the saddle's rolling. So again, if I get a right amount of thickness, boy, that's some really good padding right there. And this is my Craig Cameron, what I call my working pad. It has a wear leather all the way down right here. And as you can see on top, got a wear leather here, but it's split here. Man, that split, that hole right there can mean a lot to your horse, especially a horse with a high withers. Boy, it gives some space here and a lot of relief. So again, wear leather all the way down the side, wear leather here, wool felt, but plenty of thickness and protection. And look at this pad. I could have got a brand new pad, but what I wanted to do is I wanted to get a pad that's, you know, to be honest with you, I don't know how old this pad is. It's old, and I've been on countless horses with it, started a ton of colts, ride every day, and look at how much use it has, and it's still like wonderful. It's still just beautiful. It's still just perfect. See that split right there? Man, that makes it where it can really fit your horse better. So this is a really professional pad right here, and really one of the most comfortable pads I think that I got. I'm going to go to this pad right now. Another Craig Cameron pad. This is 100% wool, hand woven. Again, a lot of people would call this a show pad, but I use it for everyday use too. Why do I use this pad? Because it takes care of my horse. It fits good. A lot of times, my pads are pretty big. You know, if you pick up one of my pads, it's got a lot of weight to it. Guys, it needs to have some weight to it. How's it going to protect your horse if it doesn't have some weight to it? So this one's really woven good. Wear leathers all the way down the side, and beautiful color. I love the colors too. And, you know, they look good. You ride cool. Man, it's really nice. This one has what we call wool, 100% wool felt inlays right here. So you still get that crease down the middle, which allows it to fit. Really nice pad. And look here, people say, wow, that pad is so big, Craig. I don't hardly think you can get a pad too big. So when my pad is a little bit big, you watch most people, this is a common mistake. They have the excess, like if this is the front of my saddle horn, they have the excess out the back. I always put the excess out the front. So if my pad's a little bit bigger than my saddle, which it should be, guys. If it's too little, you're not padding your horse. So I always put that to the front and peak that saddle pad up. It looks better, it rides better, because if that pad's going to slip anywhere, it's going to go out the back. So when I pay for a good pad, I want enough pad to be there. So this is a great pad. These are the Craig Cameron pads. Here's another pad that we love around here. This is the really good pad. This is the Saddle Right pad. And I mean, you talk about a primo and sort of custom fit right here. Really orthopedically, really fits good on these horses. And boy, this sort of got this leather suede. Again, watch the Better pads. Wear leathers all the way down the side right here. And look at that split. This thing really fits good. Man, this is a top-notch pad for everyday use, showing or anything. And talk about comfort deluxe for your horse. The Saddle Right pad is the real deal. Again, big enough to protect the horse. It's got that great professional look. And again, protecting this horse. It's got that foam in there that, man, that it just bounces right back, really protects your horse's back. One other thing I might want to mention, when people buy a pad from me, they always say, Craig, how do I clean it? Well, there's all different ways to clean it, but probably my favorite one really is just to get a brush. So you'll see me just brush. See, look at that coming off of there. I'll just brush these things off inside and out. Man, I can just really clean a pad up. So I can clean these pads right up just by brushing them up right there, almost like my horse right there. And it just really gets them nice and clean right there. And it's taking care of your pad. Remember, take care of your equipment. It'll take care of you. Buy good equipment. Your horse will perform better. You'll perform better. You'll be more comfortable. And again, good equipment is the mark of a good horse. And by the way, if you're interested in any of these great Craig Cameron pads or the Saddle Right pad, go to CraigCameronStore.com.
What do you get when you bring together one of the biggest names in veterinary medicine with one of the most caring and committed teams of horse health experts in the industry? You get a vaccine portfolio known for its quality and safety, a pharmaceutical line you can rely on to help manage pain and support performance. You get the products, programs, and people of Merck Animal Health.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie the Horse Guy. Welcome to this week's episode of Better Horses TV. What a neat place I'm at. What an honor it is to be here. We're at the Warhorses for Veterans out by Stillwell, Kansas, and we got the three guys that are making it happen out here. We got Patrick Benson, and we got Gary Llewellyn.
That's right.
And Jason Klipak.
That's right.
On that. I have been just amazed at what you're doing out here. Let's talk to our viewers a little bit about what is Warhorses for Veterans all about. I know you're a professional horseman. This is your deal.
Yeah, I'm the co-founder and director of the program. It is the premier horsemanship networking and personal growth program in the country. We're always looking for personal and professional opportunities for our combat veterans and first responders.
What I like about it, and you hit the nail on the head, what makes this thing unique and a lot of them, it's all about horses.
It is all about horses. Horses is what brings people back together. You can't work with a horse, as your viewers know, unless you relax and get in tune with yourself. You can't force that horse to do anything.
Well, this program really helped your situation, and to the point that your wife even asked, what has got into you?
That's right. I have PTS, and probably your viewers might have been able to equate it with anxiety disorder, anxiety. And what this program did was allow me to put that in a place where I could live and work with it.
You're doing a super job. You're a Vietnam veteran, and everybody looks up to this guy.
Oh, absolutely. He's been a staple and an anchor for us. Actually, he's an amazing individual. There is not a veteran that comes to this program that doesn't leave this place thinking, always. I mean, we all look to Gary and think of him in regards of what he's offered to us and what he's brought to the table as a Vietnam veteran and as a mentor, because he's a huge impact.
And with your horses, you guys do groundwork, you do the riding, everything. It's all about the horse.
I would say it's horsemanship 101 to as advanced and willing as you are willing to go. That's why it's important to have a variety of different horses for all different levels of riding. So you're looking from English to Western, from reining to dressage to some jumping too as well.
And you even help get folks to come to this program, get jobs maybe with horses and everything.
That's a big part. There's a lot that happens on the back end with the horses. The horses, what we would say is a phrase, the horses are the bridge, the veterans their own best therapy. the thing about it is, after we're all done with the horses, we dust off, knock the dirt off, we break bread, we have this bond, we have a wonderful experience. We eventually have to go back to the grind of everyday life and, personal and professional areas. And one of those things is sometimes it's hard to find your place in the workforce or start your own business. And as myself, we started our own company after I left the war, and then we started Warhorses, and entrepreneurship and careers is a big part of it. And we need mentors too from the corporate world and the small business world to help us along and let us take that next step in life.
Jake, we got another guy over here as part of the team. This is Jason Klepak.
That's right, that's right.
Jason, what has this program meant to you as far as with your situation?
Well, I mean,
you're a first responder, right?
Yep. So 15 years in law enforcement, 10 years in the military. When I first came out here, it kind of gives you more sense of direction. You kind of, if you're dealing with a lot of things as far as like PTS from Gary, anxiety, the stuff that he talked about, when you relate to the horse, you start working with horses, you really realize how you need to calm down and then apply that to your personal life. It kind of gives you some new direction and a new sense of purpose.
I'll tell you what, we really appreciate all what you do with the horse, and what a great program memories there. And the neat thing about it, I just got to talking about this, someone says, I got a son or I got a daughter that needs to be going through this, but I don't think we can afford it. I love your program. Let's talk about that.
The program's completely free. To all combat veterans and local first responders, there is not a cost at all. We have great sponsors and supporters, like from the DoubleTree to JackStack to the individuals out there that we thrive off of private donations. We don't accept, that's the heart and drive of what we're allowed to do. And the fact that you can come back to the program as many times as you want, as long as you mentor and bring back another combat veteran, another first responder, and take the leadership, take the role there, we'll always be there to support you.
Well, we appreciate all you do. And go ahead.
And then there's one other difference between our program and other equine programs that are out there. A lot of equine programs were built off of the disabled, and they found out that people relax when they're on a horse. But that's where their program stops. That's where ours stopped. You can do everything on a horse here. If you want to rein, you want to jump, or whatever, we'll take you through all of the steps. And it's the same thing in life. Unless you don't try, you don't succeed. And this builds positive encouragement to all factors of your life.
Folks want to find out more about Warhorses for Veterans. Patrick, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
You can go to warhorsesforveterans.org. You can hit apply or donate. We're actually at info@warhorsesforveterans.org.
Thank you so much for letting Better Horses be a part of your great operation out here. Look forward to doing a lot of things together.
Oh yeah, Ernie. We've got a lot of ideas right now.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Your buddy Ron once said he could install your ceiling fan. He couldn't. And that one time, Ron said another chili dog was a good idea? Yeah, it wasn't. So when Ron said you'd never afford a John Deere tractor, you knew better. Now, Ron does too. The E-Series, legendary John Deere quality, unexpected low price.
Stop by and see Heritage Tractor at one of its 9 locations for your John Deere and Featherlight trailer needs. HeritageTractor.com.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.
Hey Ernie, thanks for coming down and thanks for having us on your show today. Today, I'm going to talk about getting your horse softer and more responsive. Now, it does not matter what discipline that we compete in or that we participate in. When I'm going around doing my clinics, everywhere I go, we're all facing the same challenges for the most part, and that is, how do we get our horses more responsive? Okay, well, without softness laterally, vertically, and and collection, which is vertical flexion. I don't think without those parts we can get our horses more responsive. That's what keeps our horses softer and more responsive. So to begin with, to get our horses more responsive, and it doesn't matter if you're in the barrel racing, the roping, or if you have a trail riding horse that, I hear this all the time from people that, oh, this horse, I just trail ride on it. Well, a trail riding horse needs to be as responsive as any horse, because if I'm riding on a trail this wide, I want to be able to stay on that dang trail. Okay, so responsiveness is important in any discipline and every discipline. Okay, but today, before we get into the demonstration on creating that softness in their face, I want to talk a little bit about why it's such a challenge to get that softness in that collection. Because every horse is similar in a lot of ways. Some horses, because of their conformation, it is easier for them than for others. Where I ride a lot of running bred colts, and we started a lot of running bred colts, a lot of those horses are built to go really fast. And so sometimes their hind leg isn't as far up underneath them as, say, a horse that's being trained to be shown in the cow horse, the cutting, the reining, the calf roping, events like that. Okay, so those horses, you can still achieve the same result, but you have to work a little bit harder at it. So before I put my Martin saddle on Casino here, I'm going to talk about a couple things that are limitations for a horse. Okay, so this horse is a horse that I bought from a customer, and he's a nice gelding, he's gentle, he rides around pretty good. He's a decent rope horse, but this horse with speed, for me, didn't know how to collect. Okay, so for me, he was okay at the slower speeds, but as his stride lengthened and we got to moving faster, I didn't like the way he felt. The reason was he didn't understand how to get up underneath himself. So we've heard for years from every good horseman about, pressure and release. We apply pressure. When that horse finds that response, the release point, we release. Okay? So like this horse here was real soft in his face, and he broke at the pole real good, but at the same time, sometimes his back could be hollowed out. Okay? When a horse's back hollows out, just like God naturally made them, their hind leg gets out here behind them instead of like this. Put your leg down, Casino. Instead of having that leg up here underneath them. Okay? What helps that horse get that leg up underneath them is this rib cage lifting. Okay? The reason it's so hard for a horse, and it's such a challenge, and it's amazing we get any of them to get round in their back, is look how he's naturally built. A horse is naturally built to where their back is somewhat hollowed out already. Okay? Well, then we take this animal that's built like this, and we're going to put our saddle on it. Okay? Put our saddle on, and then we strap the saddle down front and back. The saddle has a wood tree in it. I mean, the wood does not have a ton of give in it. Okay? And then on top of that, I weigh 175 pounds. Then I get up in the stirrup and get on him. So then I put 175 pounds more pressure on this horse's back. Everything we've done up to this point has done what? Encouraged that horse to hollow his back out, right? So, for years, my journey, I started riding horses for the public in 1981, and, I worked on everything in front of the saddle horn, okay? I wanted this to control all of this, and that's correct. But this, getting that horse to start to give laterally and vertically in its face is just the beginning. When we try to get these horses round in their back, we have to help them understand to lift that rib cage, get round in their back. When that rib cage lifts, this hind leg comes up underneath them, and then they can get ready to stop and be balanced on their hindquarters and be handy and more responsive. Okay, so I think when when people start to understand that, When you look at that horse's back and you look at how our saddles fit, which the saddles fit great. I ride Martin saddles and my saddles fit them great. But at the same time, when they're already naturally hollowed out in their back, and we need to retrain them that when we do this, okay, when we pick up here, this rib cage lifts up, and when that rib cage lifts up, that hind leg comes up underneath them, and then they're balanced on their hindquarters, okay? That's why with speed, just like with this horse, with speed, he started to lose that, because with speed, your stride lengthens, your front legs and your back legs are farther apart, that back hollows out, and it takes a little bit longer for them to get ready to get on those hindquarters, okay? So, our next training tip is going to be starting to work on lateral and vertical softness within the face, but also incorporating the body into that so this horse can get handier, more responsive, and stay more balanced on his hindquarters. That's our training tip for this week. Once again, I want to thank Ernie for coming down and having us. We appreciate being part of the show. If you want to look up our clinic schedule or any information on Phil Haugen Horsemanship, just go to our website, philhaugenhorsemanship.com, or go to our Facebook page, Phil Haugen Horsemanship. Send us a text message or email if you have any questions. Thanks again for having us, and we'll see you next time.
No matter what discipline of riding you do, training, showing, and everyday stress is hard on your horse's legs. Decra Veterinary Products is a leading lameness company that brought you Osphos. Osphos is a clodronate injection, an intramuscular bisphosphonate to help control the clinical signs of navicular syndrome in horses 4 years and older. Ask your veterinarian if Osphos is right for your horse. Decra Veterinary Products is a proud sponsor of The American.
You care about your animals and feeding them the best. And that's where Purina's local Kansas City dealers step in, providing you experience, knowledge, service, and advice. Purina feed dealers are people who believe in community involvement and who believe in you. They have a passion for the feed industry and are committed to helping customers unlock the potential of every animal. If you are looking for a trusted source for your animals, look no further than your local Purina feed dealer, your partner in animal care.